Been a busy, busy day for the Dolphins, and I'm going to recap what has happened so far and what free agents are left. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, today Dolphins brought in four free agents, re-signed Ogbah. There's a lot to talk about. So we're going to talk about who the Dolphins brought in. I have more in-depth contract analysis for each of these. I have updated cap space for the Miami Dolphins. And then we're going to look at who's kind of left, right? There's a lull right now. Again, if stuff happens later tonight, because if you noticed last night, I think when Jensen got signed, it was around midnight. He re-signed. I made a video. So if something happens again later tonight, I'll make a video and I'll release that for you guys. But as of right now, I'm going to look at what has happened so far, give you a more in-depth contract breakdown, talk about where we're at in cap space and all that stuff. So without farting around too much more, let's talk about this. So right now, the Miami Dolphins are sitting at $26.9 million in cap space after Gesicki getting tagged, re-signing Ogbah, signing Cedric Wilson, signing Chase Edmonds, signing Teddy Bridgewater, and then recently Keon Crossan, the cornerback / special teamer that we just brought in. After that, we're sitting at 26.9, and that is without them cutting Jesse Davis, Allen Hurns, the list of people that I constantly talk about that they could cut and get the Dolphins about 15 to 20 million extra in cap space, which would put them back up to 40 million, give or take. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to look at each of the contracts. We're going to start with Emmanuel Ogbah. But yes, real quick. Mike Gesicki has signed his franchise tag. He is the first player to sign their tag, which is a very, very good sign. It doesn't mean that he won't appeal it or he won't fight it, but it's a very good sign that he's not going to. And I hope this is a good sign that they can come to an understanding, come to an agreement. And the team doesn't like these players to be on these contracts, and the players don't want to be on these contracts, these franchise tags. So I hope they come to some type of understanding, some type of agreement, and along the contract, give him like a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, and kind of not have it be 10.9 million this year, because that's how much his franchise tag is going to cost. And you might ask yourself, well, why would you want to do that? I'll tell you in a second, because we're going to look at Emmanuel Ogbah's contract right now. He signed a 4-year, $65.4 million contract with a guarantee of $32 million, right? It's a lot. You do the math, boop, bop, beep, bop. It's about $16 million a year. You're like, well, you have no money. But if you looked how smart the Dolphins are about it, they gave him $13 million signing bonus. Essentially, Emmanuel Ogbah's pen hits the paper to sign it. Here's $13 million. The signing bonus does not affect the cap as it goes on. So again, he gets that $13 million, boom, as soon as he signs that paper. Hence it called a signing bonus. So if you look at, and I'll pop it up, his cap hit this year is only 7.6 million. It isn't 16 whatever million. 17.6 million. Next year is when it's a big cap hit of 18.6 million. So there's a big hit next year, and then the year after it's 19.5. But if you look at the dead cap, it's only 6.5 million. The Dolphins can save about 12 to 13 million in 2024 if he does not produce this year and next year. If he falls off drastically, they can release him and save about $12 million in cap space. And then you look at the last year, they can save about 16 million. So the last 2 years of his contract, the Dolphins can move on and save a huge chunk of money. Very, very smart by Chris Grier. Absolutely love this contract, and I absolutely love how they brought back Emmanuel Ogbah. Then we're going to look at Chase Edmonds, who's the first guy essentially we signed for the Dolphins. 2 years, $12.1 million. He got $4.1 million at the signing bonus, and guaranteed $6.1 million. This year, his cap hit is only $4 million. So he's only taken a $4 million cap hit right now. That's how much he's getting paid this year. And then they have a potential out. If he does not produce this year, they can cut him and save $6 million, because he's only due a dead cap of $2 million next year. Smart. essentially we got Chase Edmonds for $4 million this year. That is very smart, and I love Chase Edmonds' play. I think he's going to do very, very well with the Dolphins. Another very smart contract. So again, Emmanuel Ogbah is only a $7 million cap hit. Chase Edmonds is only a $4 million cap hit. Then we go to Cedric Wilson, the wide receiver we signed from the Dallas Cowboys. He signed a 3-year, $22 million contract. 12.7 million guaranteed. Average salary $7.3 million. But if you look at it, his cap hit this year is only $5.9 million. Next year, it's $7.9 million. After these 2 years, they can cut him and save about $7 million. So Emmanuel Ogbah gets 2 years to prove that, he deserved the money, or they can move on from him. Cedric Wilson gets about 2 years and then maybe gets a contract extension. Edmonds gets this year. So the 3 signings, very, very smart here. And more on Cedric Wilson here. This is from PFF, essentially a slot / number 2 option, which, with Devontae Parker still there and Jalen Waddle still there and Gesicki now. Very smart there. Cedric Wilson stepped up in 2021 with some injuries to the Dallas Cowboys receiving core and was productive from the slot. He has unusual size for an inside receiver and the shiftiness to gain yards after the catch, as well as win on manufactured screenplays. He could potentially set up the number 2 role in a less stacked receiver room, which the Dolphins have. So essentially, and if you watch videos on him, real shifty, really fast, and he's going to fit in very well with Mike McDaniel and what he's doing here. So those are 3 signings so far. Teddy Bridgewater. Dolphins bring in a backup quarterback. I'm going to talk about Teddy Bridgewater in a second. 1 year, $6.5 million. That 6.5 is guaranteed. So that's the cap hit for Teddy Bridgewater right now is $6.5 million. He has incentive based on play time. So if Tua does get injured or he beats Tua out, I will talk about that. It can go up to $10 million. But as of right now, he's getting $6.5 million for 1 year. Absolutely love that move. And then, like I said, Keon Crossan, the quarterback / special teamer, who's been on a few teams. Dolphins are signing him for 3 years, $10.5 million. I don't have a full breakdown of his contract just yet, but bringing in another guy. So let me talk about who we signed, right? Cedric Wilson, loved the signing, loved the receiver, love his speed, his elusiveness, think he's going to fit in very well with the offense we're doing. I'd like a number 1. I would have liked to go, we'll talk about, there's still some out there, but I'd like to add another receiver and potentially draft one. Chase Edmonds, I think, is also going to do very well in this offense. I love the fact that it's about a $4 million contract this year. Then they have it out after just 1 year. I think he's going to do really well, real elusive. I think in 12 games, he had 900 yards from line of scrimmage. Very, very big. Love that. And Emmanuel Ogbah, you already know how I feel about him, but I love his contract. The fact that they gave him a $13 million signing bonus makes me just love his contract even more. Teddy Bridgewater. Let's talk about Teddy Bridgewater. I absolutely, and you guys know I talked about this when I talked about free agents I want to bring in. I love the signing of Teddy Bridgewater as a backup. For one, he is a very viable starter. If he could stay healthy, he is good. He has a good arm. He can read the defense. He is, I think they said that Tua is 5th and he is 6th when it comes to completion percentage in the NFL. Very, very accurate thrower. And I love it because I honestly think he's going to push Tua to be better. I love it because bringing in Teddy Bridgewater isn't coddling Tua, because Teddy Bridgewater is legit competition for Tua. And bringing him in is going to push Tua. Because if Teddy Bridgewater beats Tua out in training camp, I'm not 100% that they're going to be like, well, Teddy, hold on, this is Tua's team, da-da-da-da. Competition. Every position should have a competition. So I absolutely love that they bring in Teddy Bridgewater. Also, if Teddy Bridgewater was our quarterback last year, of those 4 games that Brissett started that we lost, I think we win 3 of them. I think Teddy Bridgewater does much better with the team we had last year. So I'm very, very happy with bringing in Teddy Bridgewater. Now let's look at who's still available, right? I still, the tackles, I'll get to that in a second. I just want to really quick talk about centers. Ryan Jensen, gone. Ben Jones, gone. Brian Allen, gone. They all signed back with their teams. There's Bradley Bozeman, who is the next best option for me. 4 years, 9.5 million average, 38 million total is what they're estimating him at. They say Bozeman is a below average athlete who isn't at his best in a zone scheme. That's what worries me about him. Asks him to get out in space. He's coming off of a career best 73.8 PFF pass blocking grade in 2021, his lone season as the Ravens center. Now, the fact that he's not great at zone just doesn't sit well with me. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if they would go after him. Everyone else that I'm seeing isn't great. That's why, like, there was 3 top centers and the Dolphins just either they waited or they were like, the money's not there, right? And we'll look at wide receivers because I'm hearing that their Dolphins are interested in bringing back Duke Johnson, which I'm very happy with. So Chris Godwin's gone, Devontae Adams is gone, Mike Williams is gone. There's still Allen Robinson out there with the potential to come in and help the Dolphins. He's going to be pretty penny, about $16 million a year. Gallup went back to the Cowboys. Antonio Brown, Juju, Jarvis Landry is now out there, but I'm hearing, what teams am I hearing that that are interested in him? The Saints. I heard the Bills, but I'm not hearing the Bills anymore. Christian Kirk is gone. DJ Chark Jr. is still out there, another guy that I like. So these are, if I'm looking at it now, DJ Chark Jr. and Allen Robinson are probably wide receiver ones that I would like to go after and help bolster that offensive line. When it comes to halfbacks too, there's still really good halfbacks out there, and Marlon Mack and then Mostert that the Dolphins can go after to team with if they do bring back Duke Johnson and with Edmonds, and then a middle linebacker. So if they can bring in a center or they bring in a tackle, again, trade for Collins, because I'm hearing now that if Collins, they can't get a trade, they're just going to cut him. So it's like, all right, well, that's fantastic. Bobby Wagner. Go after Bobby Wagner. 1 year, $8 million. Is from what I'm saying. Again, they could do something different. They can offer something different. But I'd go for Bobby Wagner. So as of right now, there's still options. This is the first day of the tampering period, but there's still a ton of options out there. Like I said, Allen Robinson, Jarvis Landry still out there. DJ Chark Jr. still out there. Bobby Wagner. All of the tackles are still out there. None of the tackles got signed. I'll talk about them right now. It seems like everyone's waiting for what's going to happen to Teron Armstead, which, again, I'm hearing the Dolphins are heavily into. But he is still out there. Teron Armstead still out there. Dwayne Brown from the Seattle Seahawks, who's up there in age. You know, if you think Teron Armstead at 30 is old, 37-year-old Dwayne Brown. Morgan Moses is out there. Eric Fisher is still out there. Trent Brown, Riley Reif is still out there. There's still a ton of tackles, and again, the Dolphins can still trade for Collins if they want. So there's still options. It seems like they're waiting for what's happening with Armstead, and again, I got my Twitter open, so while I'm recording this, if news breaks of somebody signing or all that stuff, I don't have to stop and restart my video. But no, I'm not seeing anything. Unfortunately, I'm seeing that Razor Ramon passed away, which breaks my heart. Hey, yo. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now of any news, so it might be a little hush-hush. Maybe I jinxed myself, and I'll see you in a little bit. Love the contracts that the Dolphins gave out today. I love how they structured them. I love how Emmanuel Ogbah has an out after 2 years, and his cap hit this year isn't bad. I love the same thing with Cedric Wilson. He has 2 years and they have an out. I love the fact that Chase Edmonds has 1 year and then they have an out. I love Teddy Bridgewater's 6.5 and he has incentive base, which is going to drive him more. He's that hometown guy from the area, going to drive him more to push and hopefully make Tua better. And if not, make the team better. Again, I just want to win. I don't care. Competition, it breeds, pressure. Put pressure on Cole, you get a diamond. I think that's the saying. I don't know. But so far, I like what they did today. Just add the offensive lineman. It breaks my heart that my top 3 centers are gone. And I think the guard from the 49ers is gone as well. And I'm trying to think of other big news that happened today. Not much on the offensive line. So that can make you feel better that the Dolphins aren't missing out much on the offensive line. I know Ted Karras went to the Bengals, and the Bengals are trying their best, but the top tackles are still out there. If they can go out and get Armstead, and then they could trade for Collins, all of a sudden those right and left tackles are set. You draft that center, you be aggressive, you go up, you get that Boston College center. Set. That offensive line to me is set. So I wouldn't worry too much. We'll see what tomorrow brings or tonight brings. But be sure to comment below. Again, these videos are going to be fast and hot and heavy. So there are patrons and members I still have to shout out. Don't worry. I won't forget you guys. I will shout you out. And I will do comment of the day. But a lot of these videos I want to get out to you and get them all to you with all the information. So other than that, guys, I'll see you when more breaking news happens. But like usual, stay classy and fins up.